Hello YouTube, just a quick update. This is the Jill that I unboxed that had the babysitter apron on. I have taken her apart. You see, I take the legs off first to skin them out of the way. When I first put batteries in her, she did nothing. There was no power at all. Like usually when you put in a tape, you can at least hear the speaker or something, and she was completely dead. Like there was just nothing happening at all inside of her. So I took all the screws out, opened her up, and took her legs off so I can like easily pick her up and down. And I fooled around a few times, and usually it has to do with this belt here. But she does have power, and you can test that. I don't have a tape in there, but this black part here is what triggers the tape. So I've got something at least, so there's at least power, but you hear it making this horrible noise. So it's just a start, but at least she does have power. I unplugged all of her arm and head and everything there, so it's literally just the power and the cassette player. But if I try to put in a tape, she won't play that tape either. I don't think I can do that with one hand. Actually, I don't want to try because she could get torn up. Because I'm only holding it in here with one screw. All right, well, that's an update for now. At least she does have power for now. Of course, I run the risk of messing with the stuff. I could blow her fuse, so it's always dicey, but we'll keep going. All right, so we were just talking about this Jill, and she did have power. I put in a tape, and it just made this loud noise. So what I did is I just went ahead and removed the whole cassette player. So this is what that looks like. So that's the belt that really runs everything here. You see it makes the gears move. This is the tape reader where it reads the head. And then there's like a circuitry board underneath. And then back behind there, that's the volume wheel, that green wheel, and that's where you insert the tape. So, oh, let me see if I can set this down. This is a funny little tidbit. All right, here we go. So, this here is funny. It actually, there's supposed to be a little green light so that shines outside of Jill's back torso that shows when she's on or off. But it was a flaw because they never actually made it happen. So Jill, one of her major flaws is she doesn't have an on or off switch. The only way you can turn her on or off is literally to jam the tape in or out. Like you have to pull the tape out or push it in to make her go, when they could have easily just made the volume wheel where you clicked it and it turned on and the green light would come on and then you could play the tape. But for some reason they cut corners and they didn't add it. But it's weird because that little, you can see right through it. They never actually added the green light. It's just the little porthole for it. And then she also has the spot on the back side of her torso. But there never has actually ever in any Jill been the light that's supposed to be there. Anyway, just a fun little tidbit. So now that I know she has power, now I have to start experimenting with different parts. So I took out the player because I suspect that this is the problem right now. So there could be something wrong with that. So to test that, what I have to do is go into another Jill. So I did a video I haven't posted yet. At some point I will when I put it together, but I showed you how to wash Jill's hair. So she's ready to go. She completely works, her arms and everything works, but I have to fix her face. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, since I already had her open, is I'm going to have to remove her legs, which need to be replaced anyway because her foot's broke, and that can't be fixed. So, but I can take this leg off. Anyway, I'm going to take her legs off, and I'm going to take this cassette player, and I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to try it. And I'm going to take this cassette player and move it over here because I know she works. So if I put that other cassette player in here and she gives me the same problems, that lets me know just from deduction that the tape player is the problem. And if I put this one, which I know works, over here and it plays again, that just confirms it. So, so we're going to see what happens. And if for some reason it doesn't work, then I'll move on to the circuit board. So this is just basically how I fix Jill's. You just have to, unfortunately, you have to have more than one. And you just kind of have to play with the parts. Now, the risk you run with this, and I have had this happen before, is that if there's a bad, say, I'm testing that cassette player and there's something bad down here in the circuit board, I have actually had a bad part fry the fuse in a good Jill. So like this Jill completely works, right? Like I can finish her and fix her up and she's good to go, but I could, by testing different parts, I could very well fry something in her and completely ruin her. So then instead of having one bad Jill, I have two. So unfortunately, it's the only way that I know how to work on these, because I don't have any kind of crazy tools to check diagnostics and where circuitry is running and stuff. So I can fix them, but I am limited. Like I couldn't go in here and fix a circuit board. I have no clue how to do that. The only thing I can do is just try to find another Jill for cheap, or Jill that gets donated. Thank you, YouTube subscribers. I have actually had a few people send me parts and broken Jills, so I appreciate you. A little shout out. But I somehow can fix Jills that way. So trust me, I have a big pile of broken parts still. All right, so I'm going to switch this out and we'll be right back. Look at that, presto, I'm back, and I've already switched them out. So I took the player out of the good one and I brought it over here to the one I'm working on, and not great news. So when I test it, see, it barely moves and it's doing the same thing. So that's letting me know that it's not the cassette player, it's going to be something else. So now my next thing I'm going to do is swap out the circuit board and see where that gets me.
So I'll just ask you the question.
All right, so
and you can tell me your answers. Or if you're not in the mood for the quiz, maybe you'd like to hear my favorite new song. And I know we could do a fashion show while I'm singing it. Because you know me, I love to change my clothes about a zillion times a day.
This Jill, remember I
Either
swapped?
one sounds great to me.
So this lets me know that the tape player is fine. So both tape players work.
Either one? Hey, that's
good.
no
Now
fair.
that humming, that loud noise you hear, that's
Let's do a
her head
fashion
motors. I
show.
haven't fixed
You
it
decide
yet.
what to wear, and
And
I'll
since
sing my
her
new
head
song.
is open, you
and
can
you
hear
can
everything.
model, okay?
So I can flip it around.
Hey, before we start, do you have any jewelry?
So that's that motor
If you let me
you
borrow
hear right
something,
there.
I promise I'll let you borrow mine.
So eventually I'll get in there and fix all that.
Yes or no? Gee, thanks. You are so nice.
Alright, that's all for now. So basically,
You must
now I'm
have
going
had
to
a
move to
bad
the
day.
circuit board. Alright, so we determined that the cassette player works, because this is the good one from the good Jill, and it's still doing the same thing. So now I'm going to move on to the circuit board. To take the circuit board out, this is the actual power to the battery pack. So you have to unplug that. You have to unplug this piece that goes to the cassette player, this silver piece that comes down to this cassette player, because I'm gonna leave that in. But to get the circuit board out, you got to get that stuff, but then up here you have to unplug the head pieces and the arm piece. So unplug everything, and then it is literally just these 4 little screws on the side, and you don't even have to take them all the way out, because they're in there with like a little rubber stopper. And then I throw the screwdriver. Oh, the blooper reel. Oh, yeah, it's fine. I'll just use it like this. So you don't have to take these all the way out, because they're barely in there anyway. All right, got one more on the side here. Cool. And then this piece, just kind of have to lift out. Since I have everything else still in there, it can be a little difficult. There we go. All right, so underneath the circuit board, see, everything else is still attached. That's the battery pack. That's the fuse that blows, that literally kills the whole thing if it blows. So that's one of the first things I go for. If there can't get power still from the cassette player, I go check the fuse. Her fuse is still good for now. So I suspect it's something to do with the circuit board. Now, again, I don't know anything about circuit boards. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that do, but I don't know how to test it. I have a friend that can run things through, like he can test it where the power is going. But then even then, I don't know how you would repair a circuit board. So if this is bad, then it's just bad. So to test it though, what I'm going to do is, again, we know she works, right? She doesn't. This is the one that doesn't work. So I'm going to swap them. So I'm going to take the good circuit board, move it over here, and hopefully at that point, everything on this Jill would work. And that lets me know this is bad. But I don't want to put this in the good Jill, because there is a risk, if this is bad, it could completely blow the fuse over there, and I don't want to do that. I've spent too much time fixing her. So I'm not going to put the possibly bad fuse, circuit board in that one. So we're just literally going to switch, because if I bring the good circuit board over here, it's not going to do anything because this Jill doesn't work anyway. So, all right, so that's my next step. I just want to show you how easy this is to pull off. See, the screws are all still in there. They don't go anywhere. All right, and we'll swap those out and get back with it.
Great! You know, this is our special song. So if you know the words, sing along. You and me, that's all that we need to make a good time better. My heart shines just like a rainbow.
So, this is the broken Jill, and that was the good Jill. So, clearly, it was the circuit board. So, let's see if I can try to open it. I've heard this song so many times, y'all. All right. Switch hands. All right, so there we go. So this is the circuit board and the player that was in the good Jill. So that lets me know the battery pack works. I tested both cassette players, they both work, and we know the circuit board works. So see, everything's running. She sounds great. So I'm gonna go off anything. Poor Jill. One day she'll have movement. So that lets me know that this is the culprit. So this is the problem. There's something wrong with the circuit board that is causing the tape player to not go. So good news is that she works. Bad news is I don't have another circuit board right now. So I'm kind of back to square one. So all I can do from this point now is I can continue to work on her or put the circuit board back and work on the other one. Which I'll probably do. So then I'll just tag this girl, and eventually I'll get a circuit board that works, and then we can move forward and start fixing other parts of her. So that's going to be it for this now. This is just a little insight. I know everyone's very curious about the process. It is daunting and a little nerve-wracking. And if you try this and you only have one Jill, then it's a lot harder, and it's also scary because you could completely blow the fuse. So that's it for now for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can put comments below. Don't forget, please like and subscribe and share with all your Jill friends. Share the love. All right, talk to you later.